Welcome to week one of our Shakespeare class. One of the things that's fascinating about a Shakespeare class is that everyone comes with a different experience of Shakespeare. William Shakespeare is a profound figure in our culture and in the world. So, as we go deeper than just say, The Lion King, it's Hamlet. Spoilers, I just did it. Can you believe it? But anyway, yes, we are doing Hamlet this term. We're doing Hamlet this term, but we're going to work our way to Hamlet. And what we're going to do first this week, since this video is literally just kind of your introduction, I want you to know who I am, and I also want you to know I wish we could be in class together, because that's where it happens for me. So putting this class online, a little weird for me. I have tried to do it in a way that engages you, gets you as excited as I got as an undergrad about Shakespeare. And I have a very peculiar story that I guess I should tell. It actually is how I sort of popped over. I hated lecture. I'm not going to do one right now. I'm not a big fan of them. I believe that Shakespeare needs to be experienced by listening to it and reading it. And I came to that profound discovery, if you can believe it, on my own out of desperation. I was like in 400 level Shakespeare classes and drowning. I just couldn't get it. And so one day I went to our audio visual engineering lab or whatever it was way back when dinosaurs roamed the earth, and they had these enormous, headsets from the 50s. I'm not talking Beats. I'm talking like big, ugly vehicle wheel-sized hubs over your ears. It was terrible. They had huge, plugs like for an electric guitar, and you just got a stack of cassette tapes like this, and you plopped them in. Everything made a lot of sound. Anyway, I decided, holy smokes, dude, you're drowning in something that you should actually be good at since it's your major. And I began to listen to Hamlet and read it at the same time, and I would pause, and I would okay, I get it. All right, I get this character. And I get, oh, wow, I can feel they're freaked out. Something's weird. But that's the nature of Hamlet. Many of you have probably already heard of it or read it or seen a version or a production. But anyway, it is weird. It's almost as weird as Twelfth Night, which we're going to be talking about this week. But I am not doing a lecture. I'm just doing an orientation. But let me take you back to the early 80s when I was an undergrad, and in this big audio visual room that they had, where they had it was like a library, and they had records and big tapes and little tapes and all kinds of ancient technology that's gone, and you had to stand at a counter and you had to put the tapes in. And anyway, I was at what we called a carousel, where you had like 4 tape players separated by partitions. And anyway, there I am, and I'm reading and listening, and I can hear the actors, and I'm reading, and I'm getting it for the first time. I mean, we're talking like very bad, like late in the term, like not good. Like you want to get this today. You want to get in there with it. But anyway, I'm a slow learner. And so there I was, totally enjoying it and getting it. And let's just say I got lost in it. I didn't realize how into it I had become. And by Act 5, it's pretty intense. And I now, for somehow, no lectures were able to do it for me. No trying to read by myself, which is an absolute failure. You can't do it. We can't do it. And this was like early 80s, as I said. Our language has changed. Our use has changed. Our expectations of theater and drama. I could read O'Neill all day long. All day long. Guess what he was speaking? American. But I had real troubles just sitting down and reading. And of course now I can do it because I have a lot of experience with Shakespeare. But then it was impossible. And anyway, despite that, I would have to flip tapes and turn them over and swap them out. And despite the fact that The action was happening only in my imagination. That's where Shakespeare lives, man. Directors and producers are going to make movies and they're going to blow our minds. But we don't have to wait for that to happen. We can listen to a production and see the faces, see the feelings, see it all anyway. I hesitate to put this on video because while it gets laughs in the classroom, it is an unfortunate presentation of myself. But allow me to just finish my story. It should be funny. I don't know how to do it tactfully enough so that, like, no matter who you are in this virtual room that we've got, that you're not going to get super alienated by it. But let's just say by the end of the fifth act, where there's a bunch of action, how about this? I won't spoil it. But it has to do with love. Oh my gosh. There is this moment of love that happens. I know everybody, you probably like scratching your head. What now? Well, if you haven't seen the love at the end of that movie, it's a play and it's in my brain. There's a wasp in my living room. Pardon me for looking over, but it freaked me out. I'm just going to assume it's not going to bite me. Anyway, so here we go. There I was. End of the play, Hamlet. And I'm gonna tell the story. And I was completely lost. And there is a lot of emotional, like, pathos, and I am weeping. But and imagine, like, I'm reading and listening and weeping. But I'm not just like weeping. I'm heave crying. I'm literally 3 feet away from the counter at one of these carousels, and I am heaving there's this line about I'm more an antique Roman than a Dane, something like that, and it wrecked me. It wrecked me. Who said it wrecked me? What they meant wrecked me. I didn't need to be reading the notes, man. Boom, boom, boom. Got it. It was all happening at one time. If this sounds a bit like a hallucinogenic experience, it was. Trust me, there were no drugs involved. It was simply concentrating, listening to good audio, reading the best author in the English language, and I am weeping and heaving and hooked. I didn't know it at the time, but I just need to say that I was completely unaware that a group of people were standing not only behind the counter, but also the customers, my fellow students who standing in front. It was like 3 or 4 layers deep of them just watching me having this crying jag, and the crying jag was accompanied by other biological sounds because of certain pressures that were happening in my belly. And of course, it had been a long time that I was there, probably trying to be polite. And anyway, oh man, so if you're piecing all that together, a lot of sound was happening around me. And there I was watching the end of this, I keep saying watching because that's the way it is. It's very visual when you listen and you hear. And for me, it was absolutely visual. But obviously, I was just listening and reading. And anyway, there's a very soothing thing that happens after this incredible, like, antique Roman and the Dane thing. And there's this character who comes in and, like, he's like gonna restore order, and I just literally was like, I just felt like crying. I literally, like, again, like, oh my gosh, you know, da-da-da-da-da-da. Anyway, so remember, it's about love, passion. There was this thing. There I was. I breathe. I lean backwards. There are a dozen people, 4 layers deep, 3 layers deep, whatever it is. There's a dozen people, and I have been weeping and farting. I don't know how long, just completely lost, totally unself-conscious, and it was very, very weird. However, it made me an addict. I am more an addict of Shakespeare than a scholar of Shakespeare. I just love him, and I want to give that passion for Shakespeare to you. And our journey toward Hamlet at the end of this term starts this week in week 1. So let's look at the week 1 links in our class. September 28th, that must be the Monday. So I say get in there. Hopefully you've done what we call week 0, which is all those preliminary links, and I have welcomed you. But now I am talking about Shakespeare. And let us take a look here. I won't click the links because I think that'll probably slow down the action. But you'll notice that when I set up links, I say, due Tuesday, week 1. So listen, I want you to know I am aware that we all have different schedules. Of course, we're also in a class, so it is my preference that when I say due Tuesday, that's the day you're getting in there. But maybe it's a good idea for you to do it on Monday if you have something going on. It is my preference that you do things early and not late. So let us agree on that. Oh, that Understanding Shakespeare. Listen, I grabbed this video. Holy smokes, it's got like 1,000. It doesn't have 1,000. It's got like the 25 top most needful facts about Shakespeare in it. And following that, it's actually in a forum. So I've got that in a forum, and you're going to be noting what those facts are. I'm telling you, it's like a 7-minute video. This guy was really good. So trust me, I'm trying to save you money. When I send you out there to YouTube or to different places, actually, there's no textbook that you have to pay for, and it costs hundreds of dollars. The one that I used to use. So I am saving you money by sending you different places. I'm vetting the materials that they're great, and about 90% of the materials we'll experience in this class have to do directly with Shakespeare, not just somebody else's creative interpretation of what scholars have been studying for 400 years. But the actual material itself. However, to begin, we do need some background. So there's a lot of terminology in that video that I want you to notice. And then I've tried to set up a forum, which is like pretty low stakes. It's still like, hello, hi, how are you? I'm doing this. And you guys can just interact, because really, the class is you guys, isn't Shakespeare, and me, but it's mostly you. You are the majority holder in it, and I want you guys to know one another, because the relationships I see that build up in Shakespeare classes are amazing. Just the epiphanies, the personalities. Anyway, so let's try to really use those forums as a place to introduce ourselves in a deeper way. All right. So check this out. That next one, due Wednesday, Globe Theater Tour. That was mine. I was there. I was on that tour. I took a sabbatical. So actually, I'm brand new at coming back. I've been away for a year, and I come back to get all your classes online super fast. Help. So anyway, I was in London. I was at the Globe Theater. And I went there for you. I went there for me because I love Shakespeare. But I recorded it for you. And I hope that you'll dig it. And I hope that you will play with me in this forum. What if we together turn that audio into like some kind of cool video? All of us work together. So I just want you to know that that's called active learning, when we kind of manipulate our environment as we study. Pedagogically, it's one of the most profound approaches that can be had, and it turns out to be how I learned Shakespeare, by truly engaging with it in, as I told you, a little shamefaced now, because I very often have friends in the classes that I teach that already know me, and I feel comfortable sharing such private things, but now I feel vulnerable. Okay, due Wednesday, forum, Globe Theater Tour. So you're going to get there, you'll do that. Listen, you've already seen my text number, my email. You can get in touch with me. If anything that I have seems like, good grief, what's that? Just get in touch, phone me. I'm going to be available to you during business hours, Monday through Friday. I'm going to try. When you do text me, make sure to let me know, like, I'm in your Shakespeare class and my name is Joe. Maybe the full name. All right, so next link is Begin Thursday. Notice that it just says begin, because I'm not asking you to sit there and listen to 4.5 hours of that awesome play and the commentary in one sitting. It's too much. Later in the term, no, absolutely. we'll be doing it, but, we're beginners right now. And so I gave us a couple pedagogical pieces of material that gave you some background, and then, threw you into the deep end. That's a play right there. That's Twelfth Night. And it is fantastic. It's a romantic comedy. And there's so much more romance than people talk about. So, and talk about it's perfect for 2020 because there's all kinds of love. There's all kinds of love. It's a great play. And we have to see it. And it's totally gender bending. It's totally expansive. It's not heteronormative. And maybe it is. I mean, but then it's certainly in acknowledgement. And it's hard to believe that Shakespeare was, alive in a culture where there was also. And so I'm not saying it's like, social justice. It's not. It's not, but it's there and it's beautiful and it's respectful and lovely and just something to keep your eye out for and be like, wait, what is he talking about? It's there, trust me. People have probably written about this. We should go find some articles. All right, so begin Thursday. So that is an audio of Twelfth Night that has awesome commentary that's great for the beginning reader. And remember that the audio that I listened didn't even have a soothing voice explaining everything to me. It just happened. Of course, I am an English major, so I had learned a few things even though I was desperately unable to stay up with people. All right, so begin Thursday, our annotated and annotatable version of Twelfth Night. This is an annotated version. My students from 2014 or something, I went back to an older version. I actually have like these really fat versions where my students are all just like and leaving comments. I haven't even asked you to do that much because I have to explain so much, about doing it. You're welcome to do it. I'm not, we have those annotations. We have the annotations from the audio. If you feel like doing it, I love it. I would love it for you to go pop over to Wikipedia, grab the definition or a link to a term or something, put it in the comments there. I cannot do everything online that I do in person. I can explain so much. When you look at me, it's like just you understand. And I can't be certain that you guys are going to be able to get the whole creating the link thing. Anyway, even if I were to show you step by step, it's just not the time. This is like the first week. And to be honest, during my normal first week, I have this awesome exercise where I bring in this whole art box and everybody gets together and we make these cards for the chronology of all the plays, and there's a good deal of laughter and fun and creativity. And to be honest, I can't figure out how to do that with, I don't know what applications, Photoshop or Acrobat or what even you have available to. We're probably going to have to just end up using Google Docs to do something like that. But of course, we'll get that chronology. I just don't know exactly when. But your assistance will be helpful there. Again, there is a forum secondary to, pardon me, I have to go back to that Due Wednesday forum, because that one, I actually do a little bit of creativity. I'm hoping that you're going to get in there and add some visuals, just visuals, whether they're video, you can just links, don't worry about grabbing the actual video, just link to it, or you can upload images. So that's that Due Wednesday Forum Globe. And by the way, that's about an hour long. Not this particular version of it. I just gave you the first 11 minutes. We'll continue with that as the weeks go. So I want you to know I am being mindful of your time and your attention span. I'm trying to make this as interesting as possible. I have mentioned the Begin Thursday two links, which is the audio and the reading. We're going to get right in there. And you'll notice I'm not a kind of fellow who says, read the summary. No, dude, don't. Do not. Why spoil it? Like I told you, I didn't know from Hamlet. I had no idea I was going to just have a pyrotechnic experience. Here comes that wasp to get me. You can root for the wasp if you want. I got to keep an eye on it. So I'm not a big fan of that. I'm also definitely a hater of No Fear Shakespeare and modern translations. Please, no. Just no. Get in here. Trust me. If you're thinking like, no, I want to use my No Fair Shakespeare in my translation and learn it and da 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 da, you're not gonna get it. It's not gonna happen. Just do the one that's got the illuminating commentary, whatever it is. It's called Shakespeare Appreciated, and it's made by English people for speakers of English. It's really cool. All right, in the Friday forum, I need everybody to come on Friday and let's debrief about how this experience went because, as you can tell, I like to just uplift the class, like literally, like not literally, but almost. I really can be a very uplifting force in a classroom, and so being this disconnected feels bizarre. If you would like, if people start to send me texts saying like, make a doodle poll, Risley, I want to Zoom this bad boy, like with live. Like get everybody into the same room and we could do a doodle poll and find out maybe we all have 4 o'clock on Tuesday available. I'm willing. This is supposed to be asynchronous because you can't tell, but there's only I think there's 28 of 25. I don't know. There's a few people in here. It's a lot, but maybe you guys are all quarantining and you have time. I just want to throw that out there. I could do like what is it called? The DuckDuckGo poll, a doodle poll. I can't remember. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. What matters is that you ask me to do it. I will do it. I am available. I will be 100% available to everybody on Friday for talking. Of course, I'm going to try to be available at all times. Again, I have 5 classes that are like this. And so we'll see how it goes. It's all a mystery, but I feel really good about our first week. I hope you do too. I hope that you enjoy it. I hope that you enjoy the materials that I'm sharing with you. I hope you enjoy that I saved you $200 on textbooks. Thank you very much. Oh, Patch Bill Bank. Okay, so let's have a great week.